The challenge now is to practice politics as the art of making what appears to be impossible, possible. Don't confuse having a career with having a life. What we have to do is to find a way to celebrate our diversity and debate our differences without fracturing our communities. When women participate in the economy, everyone benefits. I don't spend my hours plotting for somebody else's downfall. I believe that the rights of women and girls is the unfinished business of the 21st century. There's a lot of fear, in fact, teachers and parents are calling it the Trump effect. Bullying is up. A lot of people are feeling, uneasy. A lot of kids are expressing their concerns. There is one lesson from the past, in particular, that we cannot afford to ignore. You cannot make progress on gender equality or broader human development without safeguarding women's reproductive health and rights. The worst thing that can happen in a democracy, as well as in an individual's life, is to become cynical about the future and lose hope. Faith is like stepping off a cliff and expecting one of two outcomes: you will either land on solid ground or you will be taught to fly. I wasn't born a first lady or a senator. I wasn't born a Democrat. I wasn't born a lawyer or an advocate for women's rights and human rights. I wasn't born a wife or a mother. There's a certain consistency to who I am and what I do, and I think people have finally said, well, I kinda get her now. I've actually had people say that to me. If I want to knock a story off the front page, I just change my hairstyle. Words matter when you run for president. And they really matter when you are president. Let's learn from the wisdom of every mother and father who teaches their daughters there is no limit on how big she can dream and how much she can achieve. I have a history with charismatic, attractive men who just wear me out. The United States strongly condemns the illegal disclosure of classified information. It puts people's lives in danger, threatens our national security, and undermines our efforts to work with other countries to solve shared problems. Everybody has setbacks in their life, and everybody falls short of whatever goals they might set for themselves. That's part of living and coming to terms with who you are as a person. You don't walk away if you love someone. You help the person. In too many instances, the march to globalization has also meant the marginalization of women and girls. And that must change. Donald Trump never apologizes for anything to anyone. Human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights. Let us not forget that among those rights are the right to speak freely, and the right to be heard. The most important thing I have to say to you today is that hair matters. Pay attention to your hair, because everyone else will. Like being a woman, like being a racial, religious, tribal or ethnic minority, being LGBT does not make you less human. And that is why gay rights are human rights and human rights are gay rights. Let's be honest, for a lot of well-meaning, open-minded white people, the sight of a young, black man in a hoodie still evokes a twinge of fear. Children's lives are not shaped solely by their families or immediate surroundings at large. That is why we must avoid the false dichotomy that says only government or only family is responsible. Personal values and national policies must both. When you're the presidential nominee, you get to pick whomever you choose to be on the ticket, and that person gets to say yes or no because, obviously, It's a very important decision.